So these are my note cards. And that one. And then there's my ID. Okay. So this is my speech over breast cancer and how it works. So over this past year, my knowledge of cancer has unfortunately grown stronger. On Mother's Day weekend of 2018, my mom was diagnosed with a fast-growing, aggressive type of stage 2 breast cancer. She had to go to numbers of doctor's appointments and undergo different types of scans that led up to her 16 rounds of chemotherapy and 2 major surgeries. From June to November, my mom went through a total of 16 rounds of chemotherapy, and the first 4 rounds were these 2 drugs, which were like really bad, so she did those every other week, and then after those were complete and worn off, she did 12 weeks consecutively, and then those 12 different chemos every time. So since all this, my mom has undergone 10.5-hour surgery to remove her cancer, and she is now cancer-free and still has 1 more surgery to come within the next 2 months. The topic that I'll be talking about today is about breast cancer. I'll be discussing breast cancer, the definition of it, different facts about it, where it starts, how it works, and the different treatment options for it. I have watched my mom go through this terrible time these past few months, and so I'm going to share what I've learned from her experience and from researching it on my own. So for my first main point, I will be explaining what breast cancer is and some facts about it. According to MayoClinic.org, breast cancer is a cancer that forms in the cells of the breast. These cells usually form a tumor that can be seen on an x-ray or felt as a lump, and that's what happened to my mom. The tumor is malignant if the cells can grow into surrounding tissues or spread to distant areas of the body, which is malignant is normally not good because that means it is cancerous. So after the skin, breast cancer is the most common cancer diagnosed in women in the United States. Breast cancer is actually, it can occur in both men and women, and that is something that I've learned through this whole thing because I thought it was only in women, but it's also in men. The breast cancer survival rates have increased, and the number of deaths associated with this disease is steadily declining, largely due to the factors such as early detection or a new personalized approach to treatment and a better understanding to this disease, and I also got that from MayoClinic.org. For my second main point, I will be discussing where breast cancer starts. According to the American Cancer Society webpage, breast cancer can start from different parts of the breast. So I'm going to show this first, and this is like the breast zoomed in. So there's the areola, the nipple, the ducts, and then the lobules. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. And so basically, if it's in the areola or the nipple duct, that is bad, especially if you want to be pregnant or if you're like expecting or like you want kids in the future, because that's how babies get their milk. So that's really bad if that's like affected by it. So most breast cancers begin in the ducts that carry milk, and that is what is also called ductal cancer, to be like more specific. Some start in the glands that make breast milk, which is called the lobular cancer. There are also different types of breast cancer, but they're a lot less common, and that's from cancer.org. A small number of cancers start in other tissues in the breast. These are called sarcomas or lymphomas. You've probably heard of this. Although many types of breast cancer can cause a lump in the breast, not all do. Many breast cancers are found on screening mammograms, which girls are supposed to get starting at the age of 25. Unless it's like genetic, then you should start a lot earlier than that, probably like 18. So yeah, they can also be felt or like before the symptoms develop. For my third main point, I'll be explaining how breast cancer spreads. Breast cancer can spread when the cancer cells get into the blood or the lymph system, and they are carried to other parts of the body. So for my second picture, There are different types of lymph nodes, and they're really big names, but there's 4 different types, and basically your lymph nodes are like surrounding, and they're all over the body also. But if you go through chemo and finish and then get surgery done, during your surgery, they're going to take out at least 3 to 6 because you don't want to take out too many. And they'll take them out, and if they find that there is cancer in the lymph nodes too, that's not good because then that means it can be like all over your body. So that's important. The lymph system is a network of lymph vessels found throughout the body that connects lymph nodes. The clear fluid inside lymph vessels called lymph are containing tissue byproducts and waste material as well as immune system cells. The lymph vessels can carry fluid away from the breast in case of breast cancer. Cancer cells can enter those lymph vessels and start to grow in your lymph nodes, which is not good. Lastly, I will be discussing the different types of treatment plans to act upon when diagnosed with breast cancer. So according to the Baylor Scott and White webpage, it says that your treatment plan will be determined by your care team, medical history, your age, the stage of breast cancer, and personal preferences because it's really all up to you. And I got that from bswealth.com. So your options may include surgery, lumpectomy, mastectomy, double mastectomy, which is both of them cut off, chemotherapy, radiation, hormone therapy, and pain management. There are some very well-known cancer treatment centers, and one of the main ones is MD Anderson in Houston. And I know this from the experience of going with my mom to her treatments that people travel from all over and come in and receive chemo because they don't live around oncology or treatment centers. In my speech, I told a personal story that I've learned and grown from, and I have talked about what breast cancer is, where it starts, how it spreads, and different treatment options.